Could Acrocanthosaurus take down the giant sauropod Sauroposeidon? Now, this is a completely hypothetical question. We have no way of knowing. Even the fossil record really can't even tell us. But I enjoy questions like this simply because we have to look to the modern day world to give us clues into the ancient past. Now, if we take a look at lions in regards to elephants in Africa, can one lion take down an elephant? Absolutely not. A lion probably weighs in around 500 pounds. An elephant weighs potentially 20 times more than that. So one lion weighs 500, elephant weighs about 20 times more than that. Now, in very desperate times, dire situations, lions have been observed taking down elephants. Now, it's going to take a bunch of them, and it works. But again, it is a very rare thing to see lions kill an elephant. A normal, healthy elephant will be able to guard against such attacks, and unless they are diseased and unless they are sick, they're going to be impervious to attack. But it has happened in very dire situations. Again, it's what the circumstances call for. If lions are hungry enough and there's no other food sources, they may just take a run at an elephant. It may not work, but they'll take a run at it. Now, in regards back to our question of could Acrocanthosaurus take down Sauroposeidon, it's always been viewed by paleontologists that giant sauropods like Sauroposeidon potentially weighed between 40 to 60 pounds, excuse me, not pounds, but 40 to 60 tons. And so let's assume that Sauroposeidon weighed 50 tons. And it may have had a head height of around 60 feet, which is incredible, potentially the tallest dinosaur of all time, and a length of between maybe 85 to 100 feet. That's a massive animal. Paleontologists have always believed that a giant healthy sauropod like that is impervious to attack. It's just a walking mountain of muscle. But again, if we assume that Sauroposeidon weighed maybe 50 tons, and a very large Acrocanthosaurus weighed about 6 tons, that's about 8 times more, 8 to 9 times. So the size differentiation between Sauroposeidon and Acrocanthosaurus is actually less than an elephant to a lion. An elephant to a lion, elephant is about 20 times heavier than a lion. Sauroposeidon is only about 8 or 9 times heavier, if I'm doing the math correct. Now, a 12,000 pound carnivore versus a 100,000 pound sauropod still seems like a daunting task. I do believe that there would have been the need to have many Acrocanthosaurs involved in these attacks. But it's my personal opinion that if the situation was dire enough, if food was very scarce, and all you had to go against was a giant sauropod, then maybe they would have taken a run at it. Now, I do believe that would have been extremely rare. I think the prehistoric past is no different than the present day world. Lions attacking an elephant is a very rare encounter, but it has happened. Now, most of the time, lions will take on baby elephants, and I believe that that would have happened with regularity. You know, you have Acrocanthosaurus living in the same environment as Sauroposeidon. They would have preyed on juveniles. But for the purpose of this video, could an Acrocanthosaur take down a giant sauropod that was potentially sick and on its way out, on its last limbs? I do believe so. I do believe that they could have harassed it, potentially raced in, taken a big chunk, bitten off a big chunk, retreated to safety, because remember, you want to get away from that giant sauropod swinging tail and stomping feet, which could potentially be lethal. But if enough Acrocanthosaurs seemed to notice a sick and dying Sauroposeidon and they were trailing one of these massive herds, potentially they would have taken a run at it maybe. Maybe they would have taken a run at it. And again, if it was a dire enough situation, even if you see a 100,000 pound walking, dying mountain of muscle, you may just take a run at it. But I do think it would have taken many Acrocanthosaurs. I think it would have been a rare occurrence, but I don't think it's potentially out of the possibility. And again, in the circle of paleontology, it's normally understood that giant sauropods, and Sauroposeidon is one of these giant sauropods, would have just been impervious to attack. But again, I think if we look at the modern day world, lions, elephants, occasionally it happens. So, which brings us to the most important part of the video, your comments. Love to hear them. What are your thoughts on a few Acrocanthosaurs working in unison, taking down something like a sick and dying, full-grown Sauroposeidon? Love to hear your thoughts. See you in the next video. Take care.